Have you ever had an important speaking opportunity coming up and you started to get worried about it, you got anxious about it, you dreaded it? In fact, you even started thinking about the fact that you probably wouldn't perform well because you hadn't performed well in the past, that you might get stuck, you might lose your train of thought, you might speak too fast. Has that ever happened to you? My name is Michael Williams, and in this series where we're going to be talking about 7 of the most common speaking challenges that many people have, we are going to look at, in this particular video, something called negative anticipation. And negative anticipation is where you and I look forward to something that hasn't happened yet, and we start to anticipate it negatively. We start to worry about it. So let me just write that down for you. We're talking about negative anticipation. And this word here, we're going to work on it just a little bit more. Negative anticipation. Let's talk about this word, anticipation. Negative anticipation. So, when you and I are anxious about something, we become nervous about something, we start to worry about something that hasn't happened yet. One of the things that we're doing is we're setting ourselves up for failure. We're setting ourselves up for failure. And that's why we call this negative anticipation. Now, this word anticipation is an interesting word. It's not a negative word, and often we use this word in a positive way. But I want us to examine this word a little bit, okay, because I think it can help us understand what happens to us and the power of our mind and our thoughts and our imagination and our visualization and so forth. So this word comes from a word that you're going to recognize probably, ante, which means what? Before. Exactly. So it means before. All right. This word comes from a combination of things, but in the Latin, I believe this is correct, right? And this has the meaning of to take hold of beforehand. To take hold of beforehand. So I'm just going to say to get or grab. To grab beforehand. Beforehand. So that's what this entire word means. Ante, before. This word here means to grab a hold of, right? To grab a hold of. And so the whole thing means to grab a hold of something and bring it into yourself beforehand. So why is that important for you? So if you think about anticipating something, and especially when you think about negatively anticipating, what you're doing is in your mind, using your thoughts, using your imagination, you are going forward into the future and you're grabbing hold of an experience that hasn't happened yet, and you are bringing it into yourself. You're bringing it into the present for yourself. So when you negatively anticipate something, you're imagining, you're visualizing, you're emotionalizing something that actually hasn't happened yet. And when you do it negatively, you're actually putting a negative spin on it. You're saying that you hope that this negative thing doesn't happen, or you believe that this negative thing is going to happen. You start to picture it and see it and experience it emotionally. So you're going ahead into the future, grabbing something that hasn't happened yet, pulling it into yourself with a negative slant, with a negative spin to it. So what this does is this starts to make a mental imprint, right? A negative mental imprint, such that you are actually preparing yourself to fail, to not perform well. You're visualizing, you're seeing yourself not perform well. You're emotionalized, so you're actually starting to feel the way you would feel if you didn't perform well. You are thinking about it, often talking about it, verbalizing what it would be like if you did not perform well. Okay, so let's talk about what you can do about this negative anticipation. Well, it's kind of obvious. One of the things that you want to do is we want to remove this word negative anticipation, because it helps you set yourself up for failure. Remove this word negative anticipation. And we want you to do what? Positively anticipate your future experiences. Now, what we do in the Pro 90D Ultimate Smooth Speech System is we give you a daily routine, and contained in this daily routine are the exact things that you need to do to change what you think on a moment-by-moment basis, right? We also give you exactly what you need to do to prepare yourself speech-wise, to physically be able to speak well. So we give you the exercise, we give you the model to help you change your style of speaking, change the way you physically speak, change the way you breathe, change the way you use your body language, change the way you think, right, about yourself as a speaker and about the speaking situations. So one of the first things that happens to my students and clients is that they start feeling more confident, and guess what happens? They stop negatively anticipating future experiences. And ultimately, we want to get to the place where we don't anticipate at all for the most part. Unless it's something that you want to prepare for positively, what begins to happen is they stop anticipating at all, or they stop negatively anticipating. And so they go into a meeting, whether it's a virtual meeting or a live meeting, they go into a conversation, whether it's a social conversation and just chit-chatting, telling jokes, whatever, talking with family members, talking on the phone, ordering food, making a presentation, no matter who's there, they go into it feeling much more relaxed, confident, calm, right, and comfortable being able to say what they want to say. So one of the things that you want to do is you want to remove the negative anticipation and do what? Substitute negative anticipation for what we call positive anticipation. So you start to think about that experience in a constructive way, right? You start thinking about something that we call Vic and Rick that I'll teach you in the Smooth Speech System. But it's a way for you to constructively think about how you want to perform, right? The value that you want to give, the way that you want to speak, how you want to impact the other person, how you want to be perceived, how you want to feel in that speaking situation. We give you the steps that you need to change the way you anticipate, right? The way you go into the future, grab that future event and bring it into yourself. We change the way you do that. And that's the power of the Pro 90D Ultimate Smooth Speech System. So what I want to encourage you to do in this video is take some action. If you are not communicating the way that you know that you could, the way that you know that you should, you're losing opportunities, you're missing opportunities, and you're probably missing or losing money that you should be earning, money that you deserve because of your communication skills. There are people out there who are maybe not even as competent as you are, who are earning more because of their ability to communicate. So don't miss out. It doesn't matter where you're at on this scale. Whether you just have a little bit of social anxiety, or you don't speak up well in front of your boss, or you don't speak up well in front of groups, or you stutter severely. This can help you, this whole process. So what you want to do is go back and take a look at this video, take a look at the introduction, and then make a decision. And here are two decisions you can make. You can jump right in and get started with our self-study. And it comes with a community of people who can help you out. But it's a complete system that will help transform your mindset, your thinking, your speaking identity, and your speech. We get down into the nitty-gritty. Or some of you who might be ready, who've been watching my videos, you might be ready to work with me one-on-one. And so I'm going to give you the links to do both of those things. But the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Michael Williams, and today we did talk about negative anticipation, and we're going to look at one of the other of the 7 most common speaking challenges that people have in the next video. We'll see you then.